The bank notification blinked on my phone at 2:17 a.m., and in that moment, I realized the money wasn't the worst thing I had lost. What hurt most was discovering that love, even when given honestly, can still be quietly betrayed. That I lost my wife, Sarah, 7 years ago. Some losses don't heal, they just teach you how to breathe with pain sitting on your chest. Cancer doesn't only take a person, it leaves behind unfinished sentences, empty coffee cups, and a child who keeps asking questions you don't know how to answer. Our son, Ethan, was 3 when she died. He barely remembers her face, but I remember everything: her laugh, the way she squeezed my hand twice when she was nervous, and the promise I made to her just hours before she passed. "Please don't let my mom struggle," she whispered, her voice thinner than the hospital sheets. "She's all alone." I promised. And I meant it. After the funeral, after the casserole stopped coming, after people returned to their normal lives, I became something I never planned to be, a single father learning how to be both parents while grieving in silence. Money was tight. I worked 2 jobs, skipped meals, wore the same jacket for 5 winters. Still, every month, without fail, I sent Sarah's mother $300. No reminders. No questions. Just loyalty to a promise made beside a hospital bed. Her name was Margaret. She lived 2 states away. She never asked how Ethan was doing. Never came to visit. But she always called on the first of the month. "Bless you," she'd say. I don't know how I'd survive without this. So I never stopped. Even when Ethan needed braces. Even when my car broke down. Even when I lay awake wondering how long I could keep pretending I wasn't drowning. 2 years passed. Ethan grew taller. Smarter. Quieter. One night, while helping him with homework, he looked up and asked, "Dad, why do you always send money to Grandma Margaret, but she never comes here?" I didn't have an answer. Then, one cold evening, everything changed. A coworker mentioned a small art show while scrolling through her phone. "Look at this woman," she said. "Retired, living her best life. Must be nice." The name stopped my breath. Margaret Collins, my mother-in-law. There she was, smiling on a beach, holding a glass of wine, standing beside a brand new SUV. The captions talked about cruises, yoga retreats, weekend getaways. I stared at the screen, my heart pounding louder with every swipe. This couldn't be real. It had to be a coincidence, but deep down, I already knew. That night, I opened my banking app and scrolled through years of transfers. Thousands of dollars. Money that came from overtime shifts, missed birthdays, sleepless nights that I didn't sleep at all, and by morning, I knew I needed the truth, even if it destroyed the last piece of my promise. That I thought uncovering the truth would make me angry, but when I finally heard her explanation, I realized some betrayals don't scream, they whisper, and that's what makes them unbearable. That I called Margaret the next day. My hands shook so badly I had to sit down. When she answered, her voice sounded the same, calm, grateful, rehearsed. "I saw the photos," I said quietly. "Silence. I know about the trips. The car. The house renovation." She sighed. Not shocked. Not guilty. Just tired. "You wouldn't understand," she said. She explained that she had been lonely after Sarah died. That the money helped her feel secure. That she didn't think I needed it as much. That she assumed a man would manage. I waited for remorse. It never came. Something inside me finally cracked, not loudly, but cleanly. Like a string snapping after being pulled too tight for too long. "I kept my promise," I said. "But I forgot one thing. I was never required to destroy my son's future to protect your comfort." That was the last time I sent the money. Weeks passed. No calls. No messages. Just silence. With the extra $300, I did something small but meaningful. I opened a savings account for Ethan. Then another one, for memories. We went camping. I took a weekend off work. We talked about his mom under the stars. For the first time in years, I felt present. One evening, Ethan hugged me and said, "Dad, you smile more now. I realized then that love isn't about endless sacrifice, it's about knowing where your responsibility truly lies. Months later, a letter arrived. Margaret apologized. Not perfectly. Not completely. But enough to let me breathe again. I forgave her, not for her sake, but for mine, that I kept my promise to my wife in a different way. I raised our son with honesty, strength, and boundaries. I taught him kindness without self-destruction, and that's the truth no one tells you about love after loss. Sometimes honoring the dead means finally choosing to live. If you're carrying a promise that's breaking you, remember this: love should never require you to disappear. Protecting your future is not betrayal. It's survival.